The year was 2023 and the month was September. There was a Johnny Walker called Mr. Top Nice Car, and in this video we are going to call him Mr. TNC. So this guy, first and foremost, he earned a pub salary, but regardless of that, he wanted to buy himself a BMW. So what he did was he mobilized his 2 feet, he went to a BMW dealership, and then when he got there, this is what he was looking at. A normal person would normally go for a 1 series or a 3 series, but he had such a big ego, and well, he went straight for the BMW X7. Can you imagine the audacity? Anyways, whatever he is smoking, he should just reduce the quantity. So there he was looking at this marvelous piece, and he was actually talking to himself, saying that look at those 22-inch alloy wheels. These really look nice, and also with those premium contact tires, and also these are run flat, so if I get a puncture, I don't even have to worry. I'll just drive the vehicle up until I get to a safe spot to stop. So there he was daydreaming, saying to himself, these tires, they are so nice and they'll give me the best traction and also grip. And also when my friends are seeing me in this particular vehicle, they will really be impressed. He admired the vehicle with a big smile on his face, like a Kaizer Chiefs fan who has just won 2 games in a row and they think they're gonna win the league. Anyways, he also looked at the view mirror, checking on those indicators that were integrated, saying that wow, this is nice. I really also like the camera there for blind spot monitoring, meaning that I won't bump into other people's car. And this guy, he didn't even have a license after all. So yeah, he was such a big dreamer. Like that guy, is it Vuyo? Anyways, if you know the guy, you know. So he moved towards the back side of the vehicle, admiring it with a big grin on his face. As he was looking at the back of the vehicle, and then he remembered that this one, it came with an EU6C, so meaning that it reduces air pollution and supports clean air. And then so he said to himself once again, he is also supporting green energy in some sort of way, we don't know. And then he was busy admiring these lights, saying wow, all this will be all mine, and especially noting that these are LED lights. And then looking as well at that X-Drive 4D, and then he said to himself, right, this is the proper machine. And also as he went down there just to look at those sensors, saying even this car is big, I won't struggle to park it because those sensors will definitely assist me. And also noticing that it has an electronic tow hitch, he was already seeing himself planning a long holiday trip. He would load his trailer and then he would hook it there, and then he will travel and enjoy. As he continued to daydream, he would see himself driving this masterpiece on the N4 towards Kruger National Park, and he would say, I wonder if I could see the rain fall on this vehicle. And then so he quickly checked if it had a sunroof, and yeah, it had a sunroof. And he also said to himself, on those roof rails, I would definitely put something if I had extra luggage. And as you can see from the reflection, there he is busy taking a video of this car. At this stage, he was saying that with a maximum speed of 245 kilometers per hour and an acceleration of 0 to 100 in 5.9 seconds, you would definitely get to his destination in no time. As he moved towards the front of the vehicle, he admired those adaptive LED headlights, and he said to himself, let me jump inside and really experience the world of luxury. Mr. TNC was so overwhelmed by this vehicle that he even forgot to go and ask for the keys so that he can actually see it properly. So yeah, if you are a Johnny Walker, sometimes you just get so much overwhelmed. And when he opened the door, oh my, when he saw this door panel, he was just talking to himself, you know, saying that with all these controls, he can control all the windows, he can close, open them, he can also lock the doors, he can adjust his mirrors from there. He won't even need any assistance on that. So yeah, he had this huge smile, and there he could open the boot from there. And then also he could also adjust the back seats from the front, which was something that was quite interesting as well, and also set the memory for those seats. And then by the door handle there, you could see that he could open it and lock it as well, which was also quite nice. And then at the bottom, you would imagine himself putting a water container there. But well, he hadn't looked at his pay slip as yet. So yeah, he continued with this daydreaming, checking out this part, saying, okay, this is automatic, obviously. I don't know how he knew that, but maybe because he saw the accelerator and the brake. And then here on the seat, he said to himself once more, wow, with all these fancy buttons, he can actually adjust these seats. So when he wants to sit upright, he would simply push it forward, and then if he wants to lean back, you would simply push it back. And then if he wants to move closer to the steering, he will push it forward, and then if he wants to move back, he will push it there. So he was quite impressed, especially with these leather seats, considering that these are heated. So in winter, you would say you would just heat them, and then he would be much warmer, and then in summer he would warm them up. When he got to this part, he was really amazed and also started speaking in tongues, because he had never seen this, because he's a Johnny Walker after all. So on that screen, it would show him everything that you would want to see. For instance, there you could see that the bonnet was open, and then yeah, just admiring this interior, he really felt that he definitely needed this vehicle. And so he started again checking the steering wheel, which is that horn in the middle, and also checking the different controls on it, whereby he could set his cruise control whenever he wanted. And right behind it, there is a pedal shifter, so if he wants to put it into manual. And then checking out at the other side, you could see that he could answer his phone, he could skip in between songs, and also behind it there's a pedal shifter. And then he's started playing with the pedal shifter just to see if anything would respond. But remember, he didn't have the key, so nothing would really show. And then he started also viewing this part of the vehicle, where he could obviously control the temperatures, and he could also increase or decrease the volume. So there, that's him trying to increase the volume. And also one thing that he liked, he saw that finger there, and then he started also doing those gestures as well. So meaning that if he buys this vehicle, with what money, that's the question to ask. Then he would also enjoy that functionality. And then yeah, so he continued fondling with that volume knob, just to see how things were in this particular vehicle. But overall, he really liked it. And then with a push of a button, he discovered something. He saw that there are cup holders as well, and a USB port, and then his phone, he could charge it wirelessly, which is also a good thing. And then also there, he had a 12-volt socket, so should he want to charge extra stuff, and then to close it, he will simply pull it. We really liked this gloss finishing on this vehicle. It really made everything really look premium. On the center console, he admired this control panel with that big rotary wheel for him to select between different modes. And then also on the media, he could choose whatever media that he wants to play. Map if he's got Google Maps, and then he also had sat nav as well. So which is also a good thing that this vehicle really comes with. And then overall, everything, it is pretty much a standard. And then you could also see that gear selector for him to choose whatever mode he wants to put the vehicle. And then to open that center console, you would simply press that button, and inside there were also that USB Type-C for him to charge whatever, should you have an iPod, that is if those things are still around. So overall, the vehicle was really nice. And then also with that ambient lighting with the inscription X7, this was just to remind him, should he buy this vehicle, that he is indeed in an X7. So this vehicle, it really screamed premium all over. And then that is your glove compartment. You can put whatever you want in there. And then checking at the top there, he continued as he was daydreaming, saying, wow, look at that sunroof, absolutely stunning, stretching all the way to the back, which is something that is cool. And then Mr. TNC would not stop with these moomish moments. There you can see he was trying to open this sunroof while this vehicle was switched off. So yeah, if you are still watching, please do take a moment and hit that like button, and also subscribe if you haven't already. And then so there he was saying, okay, enough of this front, let me go and check out the back seat. If, for instance, maybe for some time I am tired and I don't want to drive this vehicle, somebody can drive me. So let me see how this back seat really looks. And then as a startup point, you could see there on the door panel that everything really checks out. And then on the seats, just like the front, you had those controls as well. And then he kept on wondering what was that other button for. That was next to those dials. And then he said, okay, he will check it out later on. And then at the back seat, you could see that you also get leather seats, which was also quite a cool feature. And then the seat belt, it has those M colors, which also he liked. All along, as he continued to daydream owning this vehicle, he had not noticed that this one, it is actually a 7-seater. So he said to himself, let me get inside and have that full experience. So he also wondered why those seats were up. And then he would say, okay, I will get back to those. And then here looking, you could see that the passengers at the back, they're also sorted in terms of air conditioning, so they can control the airflow and also speed, warmth, or even cold. And then at the bottom, they get their own USB Type-C charging ports and a 12-volt socket, which is something really cool. And he said, yeah, I could actually enjoy being driven while seated here at the back. And then he wondered, he opened, and then he saw again some extra charging points, so he could also charge gadgets there. Then there is also extra storage space should he want to put either a booklet or whatever that he wants to put in there, then he could do that. And then still amazed by that sunroof, he checked it out once again. And then also the other thing that he had not shown on the video, and then that's him there trying to move that seat. And then as you can see as well, it moves. So yeah, he was quite impressed as well. And then also checking on the door, it has ambient lighting. So he said to himself, let me check the boot and see how big it is. And to open, at least he figured it out. He simply pressed on that button, and then the tailgate, it is automatic, and then it will pull all the way up. And he was quite impressed by the boot size, because this is really a huge vehicle. And on this side as well, you would see that he could get a 12-volt socket and his first aid kit as well in there. And then this side, you saw that he's got some controls for the back seats, and which was also a good thing. So if he goes for this one, he will be able to control those functions. And then there again, another moomish moment, he tries to open without the key. And then to open that, he would simply press there, and then this would make it much easier for him to load stuff into the boot. So, and also just to check also beneath, he could see that he's got some extra storage space, though it was very small. So yeah, he was quite impressed overall with this boot, considering that this is such a huge vehicle. And then to close it, once again, you pressed on the other button, and then he didn't, because remember, he's a Johnny Walker, so he doesn't know these things. And then he finally got it, and then it closed. And also to close the whole tailgate, now he had figured that he has to press on the same button, and then you simply do that and then it would close. So yeah, he would definitely talk to himself and say, you know what, this is the vehicle to buy. And at this stage, he doesn't even know the price that I will reveal to you shortly. And then at the back, and then he still wondered why were those seats were like that. And then he figured, okay, this is a 7-seater, so these people, if they are to move into the backside, obviously they need space, so that's why those seats are like that. And then there he tried to lift them, forgetting that almost everything is electric in this vehicle, and he definitely needed the key for him to operate those seats. So yeah, there he was, and he was even way more impressed, saying, okay, if he doesn't have people to carry, he could use all that space as a loading bay, or if he's got people to carry, then he can simply put those people in there. And then he pressed that button, and when he did that, he was quite impressed as well to see that, okay, so this seat, it would move backwards, it would put itself in position and then slowly move itself backwards, which he thought it is really quite an interesting feature to have on this particular vehicle. Overall, he was really impressed. So as he closed the door of this particular vehicle, and then he remembered, for him to own this vehicle, he would need to pay 2.2 million rands, or he would need to pay 41k each and every month for the next 5 years. That's when it hit home that with his pap salary, he would not definitely own this particular vehicle. Anyways, shout out to you all guys who earn pap salaries like Mr. TNC. So if you enjoyed the story, please remember to like and subscribe.